thegearnetwork.com.
The following is a presentation of the Gear Radio Network.
Well, hello, this is Herbert, and you are listening to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. I got some favorite players. I like Chris Godwin and Chris Olave, and I like Young Hoku, and of course, Justin Hubbard. Well, you're listening to these guys, Jay and Chazz and Adam. They're really funny, and they're going to help you win some money. Oh, they're so good. I would like to take them out for some ice cream someday. All right, y'all. Enjoy the show.
Here we go. Hey, everything on three. Number three. Wait on one. Oh, wait on three. 1, 2, 3. Hey, the next step in that. Eyes on three. Everything on three. 1. Everything.
You are now listening to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast.
So smoky. Someone talk about stop.
Whoa, what the fuck? It gave me 5-4 and then it disappeared.
I saw it the whole time.
Yeah, so that
disappeared on me. So hopefully this is the podcast. It's freaking me out, man.
Well, you're recording there, guy.
Just might leave this in. Who knows? Also, somebody's TV's louder, radio. So just that's picking up. I'm assuming it's Adam because he's on his.
It might be mine. Hang on 1 second.
Yeah. Well, either way, this is all probably going in the video. So welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Football Bros podcast. It's your boy Chazz. Womp, womp, womp. And with me, we have the man, the myth, the legend underneath me on my screen, Mr. Jay Coleman. Jay Coleman, what's up, dog?
what's going on, boys?
And we are also joined by the no nickname, no nonsense.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
Adam Van
guys? How we doing?
And I'm back. We have got the fantasy football surgeon himself.
Hey, like a surgeon.
And the surgeon he is.
Dave Zags. What's up, Zags?
What's up, boys? Real quick, what's the deal? This is we're holiday episode in right now, and I'm the only one that got festive.
Dude,
Is that a Power Ranger?
Bro, listen,
Is
I
this
booked
a Green Ranger Christmas
That's
sweater?
incredible.
It is.
That's incredible,
It is.
by the way. I love it, and I almost bought the same one. I'm still going to buy the same one because, let's be real, the Green Ranger was the best Ranger.
There's no.
Well, he's no longer with us. R.I.P.
We did your show to him. It's back in the vault.
Yeah, I booked my flight Monday, flew in Tuesday, literally left all my Christmas tree at home. I have nothing to wear, so I've decided to mourn myself and wear black today.
Well, I have no excuse. I have about 10,000 Christmas sweaters just around that corner there, so I have no excuse.
All right. Well, my little corner.
I'm sure Jay would say fuck.
My little corner of the screen is just puking holidays, so I'll cover it for everybody.
Yes, you really are.
Fuck Christmas, Jay?
No.
Okay.
We found the soft spot. We found the soft spot in his heart. It's Christmas.
It's Christmas time.
His heart just grew 1.5 times bigger. Not 3 times. That's too much. We're asking for too much there. All right. We have some bad news in my world of fantasy football, guys. Yes. Where is it?
Yes, you sure do.
I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I'm going to pull up the matchup so you guys can see. We won't spend all day on this. But, this is the Fantasy Football Bros League, and we should discuss a couple of the matchups. And first, you know what? First, we will talk about the other matchup of the week because we had one guy involved in it, and that would be Mr. J. And Jay came through. Did you not, Jay?
Yeah, I did.
So let me bring this up and show Jay's matchup. We won't spend too long on here, but let's talk about it because,
he basically just said, "Yeah, fuck you, Jay. We don't care about your matchup."
Yeah, that's pretty standard.
We got you right here. Jay won 129.66 to 101. So you pretty much wiped the floor. And you had big performances from your boy Kyron and your boy Chandler here. I almost said Tyson Chandler, but he's an old basketball player.
Chandler, big week.
Digging deep here, Jay. Digging deep. You started fucking Demarcus Robinson?
Sure did.
Who are you?
That's a wild play.
Who starts Demarcus Robinson and he gets 14 points for them?
That's what happens when you got 70,000 injuries on your goddamn fantasy football team.
Yeah, let's show the bench. Go ahead and show the bench.
Yeah, show the bench.
It is true. It is a fun bench. Christian Watson. I just got shot in the ass of Brian Robinson, and then we got
Double J here again.
Josh Jacobs, Jared Goff. Man, you had a lot on the bench. Even Wicks had a good game, and you still came out on top.
Yeah.
Look at all those injuries, though. That's crazy. Bro. Your top running backs minus Kyron. Yeah. Pittman got hurt during the game. He was on pace for like a 40-point game.
Yeah, Pittman, he was until he got murdered.
Pittman looked. It looked like we were about to bury Pittman in real life after that hit.
Yeah,
for sure.
No shit.
It was very scary. So as you can see, Jay, because you know what you need, Jay.
All you need is love.
He's going to get you through. So you are on to the conference championships. But look at these points, guys. 129 to 101. Let's go to my matchup. I scored 134. I would have beat both of you motherfuckers, and I lost by fucking 40.
That's the toughest part, man. I hate losing, especially in the playoffs. But then when you lose like that, it's just like, damn. That's the matchup that I got first week of the playoffs. Come on.
As a Bills fan, just like, were you partially excited to watch James Cook, or were you just all fantasy, just hatred right there?
Well, let's talk about what happened in my matchup real quick, because it was interesting, even though, like I said, I scored second highest points of the week, but that's not how this works. So we're in this game, right? And I'm against Fireman John. And John, on Saturday, is already kicking my ass with Jahmyr Gibbs, 24 points. Sam Laporta, 28 points. Ooh. Indianapolis defense, 14 points. John's whooping my ass on Saturday. So coming into Sunday 1 o'clock games, I have a 78% chance of losing. And then I find out Tyreek Hill is out, and I get excited. So he replaces Tyreek Hill with Noah Brown, who gets him 22 points. Okay? Wow. So I'm all salty. Now, mind you, Thursday, I got excited because I started Joshua Palmer, who got me 23 points. So Joshua Palmer and Noah Brown washed themselves out, basically, right? So I'm cool. I'm living life. And then Saturday happens, and he whoops my ass, and I got my boy Javonte Williams getting me 4 points. So we get into Sunday, right? And he has his Sunday morning games. Zach Moss gets a touchdown immediately, and then is hurt, helps me out. And all of a sudden, we get into the night games, and he has like 70 chance of winning. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling good. My chances are getting better because I've got Josh Allen, and I've got Stephon Diggs coming up. And all of a sudden, David Njoku gets me another 26 points. And then Trey McBride is playing. He gets me 20 points. So I've got Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, who are awful, 16 points and 8 points. And just to put the sugar on top, he's got fucking James Cook, who gets him 36 points.
Show the bench.
Yeah, the fantasy gods were not on your side.
The bench really wasn't anything. I didn't really make too much bad moves on the bench for this league. It was the other league I had bad moves. So the bench really wouldn't have mattered. Zamir White, I wasn't going to start anyway. So, and of course, by the way, Jonathan Taylor, who's been on my bench, is coming back this week. Thanks, Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
All right, dude.
Appreciate you coming out. So I got my ass whooped. I went down in defeat with the second highest points of the week. Like, hey, you know what? I could sit here and do this And I'm not gonna. I got my ass
Sounds
kicked.
exactly like what you're doing.
I know. I'm not crying about it. It just sucks. I got my ass kicked.
I mean,
John
nobody
kicked
likes
my
to lose in the playoffs.
No, and especially, like I said, when you score the second highest points, but it just happens. It just happens that way. And John whooped my ass. So if you're going to go down swinging, if you're going to go down, I went down swinging, right?
I mean, 134 is respectable, but when someone puts up 175, it's really hard.
It was the whole, like, even if you look at the scores of the people that weren't playing, I would have beat everybody but one guy.
I'm very glad that I had the bye week.
Yeah, so, like...
Because, wow, did I have a bad week.
You sure did.
And Saints Joe put up 175 on the bye, and I'm hoping that his guys are done this week when he plays Jay. And I know Jay is hoping that his guys are done this week.
For sure.
I think the best thing that you can say right now is that there's nothing worse than if you lose and there's a guy on your bench where if you would have played him, you would have won. That's not the case here. I mean, yeah. So you don't have to beat yourself up too bad. Like, damn, if I just made that right move.
Yeah, there's nothing I could have done, honestly. Looking pre at Jay's matchup here against Saints Joe, this is basically whoever. If you guys both win this week, you guys are guaranteed money, so that's always a good feeling. But Jay has a substantial deficit right now. They're picking Saints Joe to win by 62-38. But Jay's got some injuries, and maybe they get healthy, and his things go up. But looking tough right now, Jay. How you feeling?
Not great, especially after he just put up 175 last week. So,
and it's an important week because guaranteed money. Winning this game wins you,
at least money back there.
At least second place.
Well, yeah, true.
Winning this game this week wins you at least second place.
That's right.
So it's scary, and looking over at Joe's team, like St. Brown can blow up. Olave's been meh, but I tell you what, Rashad White is
hurt. He was hurt too.
I swear, Rashad White carried his team. So
plays Rams
you guys, real quick. I'm not the biggest supporter of the little fella there. Watch this. Watch this be the week that Kyler Murray puts up like 4 points and just totally shits the bed because we all know it's coming. He's due. He's due. Watch this be the week that he puts up absolutely nothing and just shits the bed.
Has he been bad?
Bad fantasy wise? No. Could he be better? Yeah, for a quarterback, you want him to put up at least 20 points, but he hasn't hit 20 points yet.
No, he sure has. He's had 18, 22, 20, 11, and 15.
I looked at it the wrong way. My bad.
Yeah. So
I was looking at the opposite. I thought that was projected on the.
I know we hate him, but he's been okay. So I don't know. He's playing Chicago. It's not vaunted defense.
Yeah, but
in the rain at Chicago.
Cleveland just played Chicago, and it was Njoku that put up points.
Yeah,
and Mark Cooper had a good game too.
Sure. So yeah, I would be nervous if I was Jay. But who knows? Jay had magic last week, right? So
yeah,
maybe he could get it again. Let's check out Adam's matchup for the week. We got Adam versus Fireman.
Yeah.
50-50. Look at that.
It's very even.
50-50.
And if I wanted to get that even closer, I probably could make some changes, which I still might. So
now, are you nervous, Adam, of the complete meltdown by Dallas last week, or is that just a good game play by the Bills?
I think it was just good gameplay by the Bills, and I think the weather didn't help, except for James Cook. We're going to get into that later.
Sure.
Yeah. What my fear is right now is my team not doing anything. That's what my fear is. Because even though I ended up in first, my weeks have been up and down.
I was gonna say I'm a little bit less worried about the Dallas meltdown. And put spoiler alert on my dunk of the week. But are we concerned about Derrick Henry right now?
I am.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm straight up concerned about Derrick Henry, and I mean Seattle played a pretty good game against Philly. They had some pretty good run defense. So
we're taking a look at the numbers right now, and it's like Derrick Henry used to be a set it and forget it, right? But now Derrick Henry is like a boomer bust, which is like very concerning. You know what I mean?
Terrible.
It's like, yeah, but
it's so concerning.
His
so
three of his last 4 games, he crushed it.
Right, he did. But I mean,
but when
go
he
back to the
doesn't
game,
crush it,
go back.
He
go,
doesn't crush it.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna say, go back and look at the games where he didn't do anything. Like he couldn't even get like 2 points, 9 points, 3 points. Like these are bad games, and I got lucky on those weeks that my other running backs did well and bailed me out because it certainly wasn't on Derrick Henry's shoulders. And Seattle's defense concerns me in the run game. They did pretty well against Philly.
Well, what I'm more concerned of for Adam's team, and I hold him in another league, is fucking Breece Hall.
Yeah,
2 fucking points. And I know I've always said for him is his catches are inflating his numbers, and sure, but like his running is awful. Let's just look at his rushing stats: 6 attempts for 12, 10 for 40, 13 for 16, 7 for 25, 10 for 23, 13 for 28. 16 for 50, 12 for 17. Like, are you fucking kidding me? This is awful.
It has not been good.
It's pretty bad.
It has not been good. And
awful.
I'm playing the matchup here, and I'm keeping him in the lineup this week against Washington because Kyron Williams just ran all over them for like 157 yards or so. So I'm hoping that he can get going against Washington. I'm not holding my breath, but he will stay in the lineup this week.
What is your
Derrick
feeling?
Henry is the concern.
I've been talking down Breece Hall all year. I don't know how Dave feels about Breece Hall.
I was never a big fan of Breece Hall. And, you know, that has, like, a lot to do with me being conservative. You guys know I'm conservative. And coming back from the injury, I just wasn't super geeked on him. But, I don't know, about halfway through the season, I just want nothing to do with the Jets. I just want the entire team. I just want nothing to do with it. I want to wash my hands of everything Jets related. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. Do you have a better option than Breece Hall? It's the same kind of situation as Derrick Henry. Like if he goes off, he's going to go off. But if he doesn't go off,
his best option is Chuba Hubbard, and I don't know if I would think that's an upgrade. I know he's been playing well, but I can't think. That Chuba Hubbard on the shitty Panthers is an upgrade over Breece Hall and the shitty Jets, right? Like it's like at that point you just kind of go with talent.
I think it has to come down with, you know, where you're at. You probably have to take a look at where you're at when the Jets match up and when the matchups are about to start, because I don't know, I didn't take a real close look at it, but how many players do you have going before Carolina and the Jets go off?
Carolina and the Jets are Sunday. Carolina's 1:00 on Sunday, and the Jets is same time.
All right, so Sunday morning, you probably got to take a look at your matchup and be like, what do I need? Like, do I feel like I need a home run swing? Because then I'm probably going to Hall.
Obviously, but Hall's got the better matchup. Hall's playing Washington, and Hubbard's playing Green Bay, and Green Bay's got a decent defense. Not incredible.
Yeah, they're not great, but they've been better in the second half of the season, and that concerns me because if their defense is hot in the second half and they're still pushing for that division and trying to make the playoffs, like that's tough to decide that. And Derrick Henry too, like he had a bad game last week, and I don't even remember how many points, but it wasn't a lot. I don't know if I would have even beat any 4 of the teams that played.
No, you wouldn't have. You had 109, I think. No, you might have.
So
crushed.
I would have beat. Yeah, I would have beat Jay's opponent, and that's it.
Yeah, So
But I wouldn't have beaten anybody else. So
It's scary.
thankful for the bye, of course. Earned it by coming in first, of course. But yeah, it's very concerning, especially this late in the season when teams are starting to look at, hey, we're in the playoffs, we're going to be okay. Like, we can rest some of these guys, and I know we're going into week 16, but and the rest really doesn't come until next week and the week after. But I mean, it's hard to deal with and hard to decide who I want to play.
Jay, what would you do in that situation? You got to start two of those guys, most likely Henry, Hall, and then Hubbard. Like,
I'd probably just go Henry and Hall, just because I think the upside is there for those two more than Hubbard.
Yeah, and that's my thing too. I agree. I think the ceiling is there. It just depends on how high that floor is, and if that floor is not, more than 10 points, then maybe I do consider swapping them out. But there's also just no world that I start Chuba Hubbard in. So
yeah,
I had him fill in an early week when team were on a bye week, and I needed somebody in there, and he had a great game. He ended up with like 20 points, or just under it anyway. But
well,
hard to be number one.
You're not in the FFB playoffs, Dave, but overall, how did you do in the playoffs this week?
I had 2 first-round buys in the in 2 leagues, so I was super stoked about that. Right. And then 2 leagues I was in the playoffs in. I won 1 and lost.
Running, we're having a run-in. Oh man, we're having a run-in. We got him. We got Fireman John here coming in on me.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, dude?
We just went over our matchup, and we just previewed your next matchup with Adam here.
Sure did.
Adam.
Let's go, sir. Big dog.
Adam's got a pretty scary team.
Not last week.
Well, not last week, but I appreciate that.
That's good for him, though. He had his off week when he was off.
That's what I said.
I just got to say, he's not going to be on the podcast today, but I'm going to call out Saints Joe and say, fuck off, Saints Joe, because you traded these players to fucking John the week that I played John in the regular season, and John whoops my fucking ass with those players. And then I run into the motherfucker in the playoffs, and he whips my ass with the players again. So, well, not even, actually.
Well, no, neither of those players played.
Yeah, you're right. Normally, he whips my ass. But, like, that trade made me fucking lose the bye because John had to whip my ass. Oh, man. And then, like, if that trade didn't happen, John would have probably started Kelsey and not Laporta, who did shit, whatever.
Correct.
Fucking Saints Joe. And now, good. Now I need Jay to take out Saints Joe.
Well, I don't have a quarterback, so.
You got the blonde bomber, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pick up Joe. Or did you pick up?
I picked up a couple. I picked up Flacco and I picked up Minshew, so I can decide between the 3 of them. I don't know which one.
Oh, good luck.
I can drop Tommy Cutlets for you.
No. I'm probably going to go with Lawrence, but
yeah, I would say so.
Unless something
I don't know. Joey Flacco's looking really good these days.
He has.
So, what did you think about
Tony? The non-trade for Zach Moss was almost huge. He was He was on his way to a 30-point game till he got hurt.
Fucking, I couldn't believe, and it's very, and you missed it, but I said it was very nice that Jonathan Taylor sat out last week, so you could have Zach Moss, and now he's coming back this week for me. It's like, it's really thoughtful.
Tony, I put that up just for you.
You fucking you asshole.
Good boy, Josh.
You were afraid at the beginning of the day of our matchup because once you heard Hill was out, you started to be afraid a little bit.
I was afraid until I was at the Bills game and watched him just handing the ball to Cook over and over and over and over and over again.
And over. And I'm sitting at Duff's just watching it happen over and over and over. And Josh Allen doing nothing and Stephon Diggs doing nothing. And then on the other side of the fence, I had, in another league, I had Dak and CeeDee Lamb, doing nothing. And it was just like the worst experience of a Bills blowout in my life.
That's tough.
I liked it.
I was super excited to see James Cook go off for once. We'll get into that a little bit later, but it was good to see. But sucks for you, Chazz. You got your ass kicked. And like I said, 134 is respectable, but 175?
Fucking ridiculous.
I'll tell you. You have had some big games against you this season.
I sure did. I easily have the most points against. Easily. John probably had his best 2 weeks against me.
Yes. And this one was with no Hill and no Herbert.
That was the quickest yes I ever seen. Okay, say hi to everybody. She's here now.
Noah
Brown came in.
Noah Brown came in.
I could, he takes out Tyreek Hill, no problem. Fucking Noah Brown
with Case Keenum.
I would have much rather had an injured Tyreek Hill out there.
I'm going through the weeks right now to see if those are my 2 high scores.
Now I have to worry about Hill.
John made me his bitch this year. That's for sure.
Scored 156 against Mark in week 7. 154 in week 8. 152. Damn.
Yeah, you've been pretty consistent all season, and I have not.
We played the trade.
I did.
Yeah, 155 I scored against you.
See?
Second highest.
You just decided to get 20 more points in the playoffs, and I had second highest points. It's okay, though. It is okay. We just broke that down.
That's the breaks.
That is the break. So, John, you're welcome to stick with us as we move on to our next segments, and if you can think of adding to them, you're more than welcome. So we're going to go to our Get Dunked On segment. So,
instead of swing, goes down the middle, slam dunk.
Get dunked on, bro.
And get dunked on. If you don't remember, John, it's just something bad happened to you, or something stupid happened to you, or in a game you watched, or whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even have to be football. It could be whatever you want. And I'll start
somebody else in a different
whatever. Yeah, just dunk on somebody. And mine is going to go, I'm dunking on, from a game we were watching, me and Adam talking about it a little bit, I'm going to dunk on Robert Tonyan because he fucking lost that game.
Oh, dude. That was so bad.
Okay, we have
Feels so good.
We've given Justin Fields a really hard time on this show that he can't throw the ball. So Justin Fields rolls to his right. He throws the greatest pass I've ever seen Justin Fields throw. He possibly threw the greatest pass I've ever seen in the Chicago Bear history of quarterbacks, because they've never really had great quarterbacks. Hits Robert Tonyan wide open right in his hands for him to go and just drop it straight.
That was a rope. That was a rope. I mean,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
I am the biggest proponent of Justin Fields not being an accurate passer. That was an absolute dime of a throw, and to just drop that and you could see it. Good on him for not being super frustrated. I mean, that's a team player right there, but you could see it in his eyes when they cut to him. He's just like, how do you drop that ball, dude?
Yeah, and was it?
He knows it was the best throw of his career.
Yeah, he knows.
I mean, it was a total Arthur Smith play call. Let's set this play action to the boot to the right and throw a bomb to our second tight end. I mean, it's total Arthur Smith fucking play call, but wide open. And so, yeah, Robert Tonyan, your young quarterback, he's starting to make strides. He's playing better. He's throwing better this year. And you fucking totally just... So good job, Bobby Tonyan. Get dunked on. What you got, Adam?
I am dunking on a team that I love to dunk on, and it is the Atlanta Falcons. Not only because they couldn't get the job done against the worst team in the league this year, the Carolina Panthers. They cost me the spread. Arthur Smith is an absolute idiot, and they make another quarterback change again for the fourth time this season. They went from Ritter to Heineke, back to Ritter, and now they're going to Heineke again for the rest of the season. And somebody asked about Arthur Smith, or somebody, I think it was, I forget what radio station I was listening to, but they asked the GM or the owner, somebody, what they're going to do with Arthur Smith. And he said, well, we got to play out the rest of the season. Totally respect that. But you have 3 games left, and you couldn't get the job done against, first of all, a division opponent, right, who is not very good. And it was a sloppy rain game, but
just
you had one of the best running backs in the league, Bijan Robinson, coming out of college, right? Didn't do anything. at 0 points, by the way. I don't know if you know this. 0 points. They couldn't throw the ball. Desmond Ridder, who is a guy who likes to run the ball, couldn't run the ball. Like, Atlanta Falcons, just get it together, please. It's still mind-blowing to me that they are one game out of making the playoffs and winning the division. Mind-blowing how they're even in it.
We all know how we feel about Arthur Smith. What do you think about Arthur Smith, John?
I really don't know much about him, to be honest with you. I don't really follow the Falcons. All I know is that they was supposed to be good. He was supposed to turn Desmond Ridder into something, and I had him in fantasy this year. He had a couple good weeks other than that.
Well, here's my
dog shit.
Yeah. Here's my thing, and I go back to this all the time. If you watch the series Quarterback on Netflix, fantastic series, they compared Desmond Ridder at the draft to Marcus Mariota, who they had the previous year, and like they didn't get anything done with Marcus Mariota. What makes you think that a guy like Marcus Mariota is going to get it done for you? The decisions that they make, the coaching is awful. You have freak athletes on your team, and you still run Cordell Patterson.
Yeah, you're running Cordell Patterson,
who's been on 17 teams.
Yeah,
and is supposed to be this big wide receiver, which is more like a tight end, in my opinion. But it's just mind blowing. It's mind blowing.
The Kyle Pitts situation has me mind boggled there.
That's what I was going to say. You're drawing up plays and screens for Jonnu Smith.
Yeah, that's
the worst.
Yeah.
The worst. And let alone you're using those running backs instead of your 8th overall draft pick, Bijan Robinson. Like, just awful. Just get rid of him.
You can try and argue it's the GM and not the coach, but that doesn't explain the Jonnu Smith plays over Kyle Pitts, the Cordero Patterson, and Tyler Algier getting the ball over Bijan, and that's on the coach.
Wild.
It's crazy.
It's 100% coaching. Why waste a first-round draft pick on a running back you're not even going to play?
Because he's out. He's smarter than all of us, guys.
Apparently.
The Lions were thrilled when Gibbs drafted them. They must have knew something.
They sure were. Well, they were doing the same thing.
Yeah.
He's the Dan Campbell that doesn't win games.
Well, that's it. But, I mean, up until what, like 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, Jahmyr Gibbs had like 2 good weeks in fantasy because they just didn't use him.
Yeah, he's another one. He'll have a big week, and then he gets 4 touches.
Yeah, Dan Campbell's the same way, except Dan Campbell is in an awful division, but so is Arthur Smith.
Yeah, the only argument for that situation is David Montgomery has been balling out, too. So it's not like they haven't had anybody that's... Nobody's really balling out in Atlanta, and they're still not giving them the ball, which is crazy.
You're right, and that just comes down to coaching and the decisions that they made, and it's just mind blowing the flip floppiness of the quarterback situation, the not using your athletic guys, drafting a running back 4th overall, I think he was, is what Atlanta had. It's just
8th.
I love dunking on the Falcons, and I'm going to continue to do it until they show me something different. And I don't think I'm going to see anything different until Arthur Smith gets fired, and we're going into next season. So
it's just like they're who are they going to replace him with? They're going to hire hopefully some hot shot offensive guy, but who's that going to be? The offensive coordinator from the Lions? Like, look what the Lions just are doing. We just said the same thing. They're going to hire Ben Johnson. Like,
Eric Bieniemy needs to get a crack at a job, man.
But is he
Sam Howell looking like a Pro Bowler for a while this year?
Yeah, but everything else isn't really that good. I mean, the receivers haven't looked good. The running backs have looked okay. I don't know if he's getting himself a job this year. Maybe. I mean, it is he's trying to show that he could do it without Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. And you're right. He did have Sam Howell looking. I don't know if he had Sam Howell look like a Pro Bowl. Sam Howell was putting up numbers, but he was also throwing interceptions, and they were losing games.
Oh, they always played from behind. They had to throw. That's why his numbers are up there. But, I mean, he was making good throws to his receivers, and they're just – I don't know.
I got it. Atlanta Falcons head coach next year, Ken Dorsey. Let's fucking go.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
He'll be a QB coach somewhere.
I'd love to see it. Put him in the NFC. That's fine.
Maybe somebody hires Joe Brady because he's making a name for himself.
Shit, put Dorsey in the AFC. What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Ken Dorsey, head coach of New England.
Right, true. True. Yeah, put him in the division. Even better.
Let's fucking go. All right, Jay, what are you dunking on?
Someone we haven't talked a little bit. It's been a while for him, but Aaron Rodgers, that fucking piece of shit asshole. I'm so sick of this fucking guy.
Dude, there's Aaron Rodgers.
Fucking taking away a roster spot from some guy just so he can practice with the team, knowing full well he was never going to come back and play this year, even though he's talked about how he was going to do it. It's a fucking joke.
He is a joke. It was all just so people wouldn't stop talking about him. Every other show on SportsCenter is like, Aaron Rodgers is throwing footballs today from his wheelchair. And it's just like talking about him with his fucking busted Achilles in October. That's all he cared about. He was never coming back. The Jets never had a chance. They didn't have a fucking chance. The only reason it looked like it had a chance is because everybody else was so mid, and they were below mid. And now it's shaking out, and they never had a chance, and he's just an asshole.
Yeah, taking away a fucking roster spot from some like guy that was undrafted or whatever, and
making minimum wage.
Yeah,
league minimum, not minimum wage.
Yeah,
right.
Just so you can practice with the fucking team and not do shit, dude.
I really hope he fucking retires. I hope he retires and just fucks the Jets.
I would love it.
Oh, I would love it. Just he fucking retire. He played fucking 3 snaps.
Well, that would keep people talking about him.
It's true.
Yeah,
and then he'll
when a team mid-season needs a quarterback because an injury went down, he'll be ready to go.
No, he'd still be under contract and had to get released, right? Like Brady, because like Brady can't just sign anybody.
Yeah, maybe. I think that's how it works. Yeah, you're probably
it is.
right. Yeah, he would have to retire, and then they would have to sign. He'd have to sign the retirement agreement.
He's not going to retire though because he's going to want to be comeback player of the year next year now. So everyone will talk about him.
Well, he couldn't do it this year because it's already Lamar, or not Lamar. Sorry, DeMar.
Yeah,
it's already DeMar. All right, Dave, what are we dunking on?
This is a sad day. I really hate to do it. We already talked. We already talked about him, so I'm not gonna beat up on him too bad. But Derrick Henry, bro, what the fuck? One playoff matchup that I lost one playoff matchup, and I lost it by 6 points, and it was because of Derrick Henry. Just 16 carries for 9 yards, just absolute abysmal performance.
So bad,
and it was in a league, so it's a league that is a salary cap league. So in a salary cap league of $250, I spent $70 on Derrick Henry, which was just a ridiculous investment, which was overpriced. I know it's overpriced, but he was. Yeah, this year. I know it was overpriced, but it's also a keeper league, so it's a keeper salary cap.
What does that mean for him?
It means that he was the only good running back left on the board, and I had 0 running backs. So they were just bidding me up. They knew exactly what they were doing. I had to do it.
Oh, yeah,
but yeah, dude, three points out of a 70 cap player in a fantasy playoffs. Derrick Henry, what the fuck, bro?
John, is he done?
Wow.
Is Derrick Henry done? Because we were talking about him a bit earlier. What do you think?
I think he's done as a top 5 running back. I don't think he's done. I think he's approaching AP territory. Like, I think he'll still be a good. He's not going to be a first-round pick going forward. I don't think, for sure.
No, he can't. He couldn't be.
I think you're going to see him start splitting a lot more next year with Spears. If he stays in Tennessee, he might go elsewhere next year too.
He's not in Tennessee.
His contract's up. He's not in Tennessee.
So I don't see him going anywhere. If he goes somewhere, I don't see him being a bell cow back like he was in his heyday there.
He'll be on the retirement tour with the Raiders or something. Like,
it could be a good for a good offer, like a great big bet. Like, you need tough yards. He's obviously still there. I feel like he could be great if he doesn't have to carry the ball 25 times a game. If you can get him to a point where he's carrying it 12 to 15 times a game.
I've said it before. He would be perfect in Buffalo. Like,
yeah,
he would.
Pretty scary to bring him into the fourth quarter, man.
Yeah, he would be perfect in Buffalo. Even a 30-year-old Derrick Henry would be perfect in Buffalo. James Cook and Derrick Henry, and you don't have to worry about a 37-year-old Latavius Murray.
Yeah, and you know what's mind blowing too is that people forget that we still have a Garrett Blunt on the practice squad, and
He's
Garrett Blunt, Jesus Christ! Oh my God, Leonard Fournette, Jesus, and he hasn't even played yet. But this emergence of Ty Johnson, whoever this kid is, he's been playing so well they've had no need for him, but they do call him Playoff Lenny, so we'll see if he makes an appearance in the playoffs. But Derrick Henry
will go to Philly when the NFL outlaws the tush push and Jalen Hurts can't fall forward for a yard anymore. That's when they'll need him.
Are you turning in me, Dave? Holy shit!
That'd be great. Imagine that.
And by the way,
then he can just take the direct snap and push forward. Just you can't have anybody touch him from behind. That's his yard.
And by the way, Jalen Hurts lost that game for the Eagles on Monday. What an awful interception he threw at the end there.
Yeah, really bad.
Yeah.
This showed, I know he was sick, but he's not everything people think he is, and he's starting to get figured out. And I said it when he signed that big contract. You're giving him this big contract after 1 year. 1 year you're giving him this big contract. There's a reason he got benched in Alabama and was a second-round draft pick. Not that he's awful, but he is not the highest-paid quarterback in the NFL. Good. So it's interesting to see where it's going to come. That's not saying the Eagles can't win with him or anything like that, but I don't know. It's correcting itself, I think, a little bit at some point. And I don't know, even though I love him. All right, John, so you heard how we do this. What do you think? You got a dunk?
I do. I'm going to go with – it was going to be one player, but I'm going to go with his entire team organization, the Los Angeles Chargers.
I thought that was coming.
I like the Chargers. I've always liked the Chargers. Watching Austin Eckler get up and point for a first down, I believe at the time it was 49-7, was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in my life. This team it's amazing that they're as bad. Watching that game made me think that they heard that guy last week. I don't know if you guys heard it. He had an interview with the coach, and they asked him if they thought he lost the locker room. And his response was no, because we haven't been getting blown out of the stadium. If we lost the locker room, there would be a blowout in there. And the very next week, his team goes and just literally gives up. It was basically 21 points a quarter for the first three quarters, which makes me think that they quit on him.
Yeah, do you guys think the team kind of threw that game on purpose to get rid of
Which
Staley?
almost makes me scared about this week, because now if that was the case, they're going to come out and play their ass off this week. So I hope we better not try and I don't think the Bills are overlooking anybody at this point, but
yeah, they did enough of that.
But what a dumpster fire that team has turned into, man. Justin Herbert, the fact that they've been to one playoff game in the last 3 years is insane.
Yeah, it's wild. And I always say this about the Chargers is they always start like 0-5. I'm like, wow, this is the best 0-5 team in forever. They have Justin Herbert. They got Khalil Mack on defense now. They have, Keenan Allen still getting it done. Mike Williams getting it done. And he gets hurt. Bosa is hurt now, and he's probably done for the rest of the season. And they have all these weapons, and they still lose. And part of that to me is we always talked about this on the podcast in years past. Brandon Staley is a terrible coach.
Yep.
He makes awful fourth down decisions. He makes awful third down decisions. Awful decisions all around are just so bad. Mm-hmm. And to me, he's punting when they're down, 6 points, and there's 4 minutes left in the game, and it's 4th and 2, and then he's going for it when they're up, 7 points on 4th and 7. I'm like, I don't understand the way that he's trying to do this. If he wants, because he was the first one to integrate, analytics say go for it here in this situation. It's like, how about you just be a coach and figure out what your team needs?
They have found some brutal ways to lose games.
Yeah,
so many, and that's what I mean. And my point with all that is that then eventually the other team will just come back and beat them. And it's mind blowing that he lasted as long as he did. Like we joked about it in the group chat. Like I wouldn't have let him leave the locker room last week after halftime.
Right.
I just called him an Uber.
Think of the stars on that team, and that they can't make the playoffs on both sides of the ball. I mean, they're just star-studded. Like, it's crazy.
Austin Eckler's too focused on his fantasy teams.
Well, what I've said before, and he's proof of it, is it's the death of the defensive-minded head coach. Why do you have this young, awesomely talented quarterback and you sign a defensive-minded head coach? They don't do it. Sean McDermott, it's not the right guy. These defensive guys, what defensive-minded head coach is elite? Don't give me Bill Belichick. Fine, give me Bill Belichick. What other defensive-minded head coach is elite? The second best one is probably Sean McDermott, and we all think he's at least mid.
Yeah, he's average.
So, the defensive-minded head coach.
Isn't Mike Tomlin defensive coach?
Yeah. Okay, sure. There you go. There's a couple. But when is the last time Tomlin won a Super Bowl?
Ryan might be a stud, too. He might be a stud coach.
Which one I overtalked?
D'Amico Ryan.
Well, the jury's out on that. You can't really. But if you think about it, we mentioned this before, and I'll bring it up again. Let's just talk about the last few Super Bowls real quick. 2 offensive-minded coaches last year. 2 offensive-minded coaches the year before. 2 offensive-minded coaches the year before. 2 offensive-minded coaches the year before. And then I believe 5 years ago, Belichick was there against an offensive-minded coach. So, that just shows you. And if you look at the past winners, again, I've said this again for people that haven't heard it, who won the Super Bowl last year? Offensive-minded head coach in Andy Reid. Who won the Super Bowl the year before? Offensive-minded head coach in Sean McVay. The year before that, offensive-minded coach in Bruce Arians. The year before that, offensive-minded head coach in Andy Reid, right? And the year before that, offensive-minded head coach in the guy that's in Jacksonville now. So, Peterson. It's over for you defenses. So the team that runs out, Atlanta, Carolina, the Raiders, that's going to run out and sign Lou Anarumo from fucking from because that's the one. Lou Anarumo, that's like, oh my God, he's so amazing. He's going to be head coach. Have fun with Lou Anarumo as your head coach. Please go ahead, have fun with a 60-year-old fucking man as your head coach who's going to pound the ball and not use whatever quarterback you have. Have fun with that because it's just over for them. So, all right. Let's that took a while, so let's move on to our victory lap.
Time for a victory lap.
Let's start with you, Davey boy. What you got?
I got some Rachaad White this week. You guys know I was a little high on Rachaad White this week, or this season. I thought he was great value where we were getting him, and he came through again. Are we? I'm curious. Are we at the point where we kind of feel like Rachaad White is set it and forget it, or yeah, right? I feel like he's entered that echelon, just set it and forget it, Rachaad White.
I traded for Rachaad White in one of my leagues, and I start him over Bijan Robinson and Ken Walker. So, I love having Rachaad White in my lineup. I don't think he's been less than 15 points in 6-8 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, he's been an elite pickup for where most people were drafting him. So yeah,
for sure. And he was
Rachaad White,
a late
20
round
points.
pick.
Yeah, 90 rushing yards, 50 receiving yards, found the end zone again.
Love it.
Yeah, great value there.
That's what happens
I'll take him into my playoff matchup this week in one of my leagues where I had to buy. So give me some Rachaad White all day.
Well, you got Big Dick Baker. That's why. Turning that team around.
Yeah.
Big Dick Baker. Bills versus Tampa. I called it 3 years in a row. That's what's going to happen this year now. Bills
We'll see.
All right, Jay, what are your victory lap?
My victory lap is Ty Chandler. So
yes, sir.
24 points of a guy that is not on most teams, and I was in a bind, so I'll take it.
Hell yeah. I got a story about Ty Chandler. In one of my leagues, I have been dogfighting all year long to make the playoffs, right? It was top 6 make it. It's a 12-person league. I go and trade for Isaiah Pacheco a couple weeks, before the deadlines and all that, and because I really needed a running back. All I had is I made a trade for Kyron Williams. He ends up getting hurt. I'm stuck with just the absolute worst of the worst. I don't even remember who it was anymore. So Pacheco ends up sitting 2 weeks. I pick up Ty Chandler. I'm playing against my cousin who started the league, and he's been scoring like crazy. So I throw Ty Chandler in there like right before the game starts, and I'm like, this kid's gonna. Madison goes out. Then when Madison went out, that's when I picked up Ty Chandler. So they announced him out. I put him in. I'm debating back and forth. Like, fuck. All right, so I put him in. Yeah, ends up putting up 25 points, and I ended up winning. So I'm moving on to the next round. And my cousin just blew up my phone going, are you kidding me with that Ty Chandler start? I'm like, yeah, dude, I had no choice. And he came through for me, and I love that victory lap.
All right. Well, then what's yours, Adam?
My victory lap, I'm going to stick with the running back theme, man. I'm going James Cook. The very rare victory lap that we gave the Bills this year. They figured out a way to beat the Dallas Cowboys, and it was on the ground with James Cook. They ran him hard. They used him in all the right ways. They opened up everything, and unfortunate for Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, they were not really needed last week. James Cook, man, I hope we keep that up.
Yes,
and victory lap goes out to him. He ran like a dog.
This is the Cook that we've been waiting for all year.
This is what we expected. This is what we wanted.
Yeah.
Didn't expect it, but this is what we want. A team that could run the ball, open up the pass game, and they didn't even need to because Dallas couldn't stop the run. And I'll extend my victory lap to the coaching staff for actually sticking it to a very good team in the Dallas Cowboys by continuing to do what was working, and they didn't shy away from it. They kept it going. And James Cook alone had more yards than the entire offense of the Dallas Cowboys. I love to see it. Victory lap goes out to them this week.
Boys, go ahead and mark it up on the board. Sean McDermott now has 1 victory lap and 17 dunks on the season. Let's go.
probably more than 17.
Oh, God. So many.
Here's a quick question before we get to mine and John's. Now that we talked about it, I just went pulling it up here. I'm looking at the running backs drafted in last year's draft, and is James Cook the best one? Let me give you some names of the running backs drafted last year. James Cook was like 4th. Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, James Cook, and then you had names like Isaiah Spiller, I just got shot in the ass, Brian Robinson, Rashad White, Jerome Ford, Kyron Williams, Tyler Algier. James Cook might be...
He's up there. I mean, Kyron Williams is a really good running back, and he really works well in that system. I'd probably give the edge to him.
Over James Cook, that's madness. You just have a fantasy crush on him.
I don't know.
Watch him. It's that James Cook is so explosive.
I'm not saying James Cook is bad. I'm saying Kyron Williams is good.
Yeah.
That's a tough.
But James Cook is fine. And Ken Walker's been really good too. He just can't stay on the field long enough to prove it. He hasn't played a full season yet. I know he's not that many years in the league, but I will give it to James Cook and say that he is a very durable running back. And the way that we ran him last week against Dallas, if he can do that every game, I mean, maybe he'll break down at a quicker rate, but I mean, they played it well. They did it well. They ran well. Everybody blocked well. It was really good. It was really good to see for once.
It was just an interesting thought I had. All right, John, you got a victory lap, and don't fucking do it. Don't you fucking do it.
Well, it was gonna be James Cook, but since that's gone, I'll give it to Noah Brown.
Anybody, just fucking throw a fucking dart. Throw a fucking dart. It's going to be
my Tyreek Hill replacement. Not that I needed him, but it was Noah Brown, who got me 22 points in his first start of the year on my team.
Where's the mute button?
You know what? I want to actually change my victory lap. I would like to have a victory lap for John, who finally dethroned the one and only Chazz, and we never have to hear that fucking high in the chant. Don't you dare, bro! You lost it, bro. You're done.
Yeah, definitely lost it.
Yep,
definitely
never
lost
hear
it.
that fucking song again. So
put
John,
that song in the graveyard.
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you, bro.
I love that.
Thank you.
Well, you know what? He gets this then again. He gets his own theme song. All right, fine. He deserves it. All right. My victory lap is ugly, and like this is a league that all four of us are in, minus Adam. Like literally, the reason we started the Fantasy Football Bros League is because we couldn't get Adam in the other league. Because it's been the same forever. So we are looking at it real quick. You guys already see this, but I want to share it for everyone at home. This ugly fucking win I pulled out in the fucking playoffs, 96-91. Folks at home, this is a PPR league. 96-91.
Neither of you deserve to be there. I just want to throw that out there.
Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Tony,
and Dave
pull up
drops
the other
the
match up there
hammer.
while you're at it.
Let's not.
Your mine and yours?
Yeah.
I did that earlier.
No, the other one in that league.
Okay. Oh, yours in this league?
I think it was me and somebody else in the room right now.
No, that is true. I forgot about that.
Oh boy!
I didn't plan this. I didn't plan this. Yep, there it is. So there's Jay. Oh goodness, 129-104, Jay.
That's what happens when you got your top two wide receivers out. Your one of your top backs out,
and Pittman got concussed in the first quarter. That helped.
Yeah, he was murdered. That wasn't concussed. That was attempted murder.
He was on his way to a good game, I feel like.
I'm surprised he even walked off after that one.
So was I. I thought he was coming back. He actually looked like he was with it and everything.
But wait a minute. This isn't John's victory lap. He already had yours. This is mine. Victory lap with these fucking scrubs of 7 points from Dak Prescott, 10 points from Jamar Chase, 9 points from DeAndre Swift, 5 points from Saquon Barkley, 2 points from Breece Hall. Thank God for Sam Laporta that John thankfully dropped and I picked up at the beginning of the year. But here's the big thing, Dave. You mentioned that earlier. You hate when there's somebody on your bench that could do better and you lost. Well, thankfully I won. But 2 points from Breece Hall. Are you guys ready to see these bench fucking players? Mind you, 2 points for Breece Hall. 12 from Zach Moss, 22 from Amari Cooper, 16 from Jerick McKinnon, 20 from Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 23 from Jordan Palmer.
If I remember correctly, I told you to put Amari Cooper in, and you said, nah, bro.
I asked. You said that. Adam said stick.
Oh, wow.
I went in with my gut with Breece Hall, and my gut was fucking wrong.
No, I did not say stick with him. I said I like him this week.
So, but you know what? That's a victory lap because even when I have 7 combined points from Breece Hall and fucking Saquon Barkley, I still won. Moving on. They're going to wake up and do better this week because I fucking need them too bad. Because I'm playing Chad in that league. And, he's got Mostert, who's got more touchdowns this year than he's had his entire career. And, of course, Tyreek Hill. And I'm against Tyreek Hill in another fucking playoffs because everyone that has I'm convinced everybody that has Tyreek Hill is in the playoffs. At least made the playoffs. I'm convinced. I mean, it's just.
that's probably a fair assessment.
Yeah, probably.
John has him, and I'm against him. In the other league, Chad has him, and I'm against him. In my family league, Jada has him, and I'm against him. I'm convinced. Everyone that has Tyreek Hill is in the fucking playoffs. So, all right, that's our that is our victory lap segment. So let's keep it moving. Jay, you got a special segment of fuck that guy. So what guy are you fucking?
Dave's gonna like this. It's going to be his guy, Austin Eckler. Fuck that guy. He's
that guy.
He's dead.
I love that.
I mean, you can't even get more than 10 points against a dog shit team. So I just don't see him coming in and putting up 15, 20 points against the Bills. So
yeah, I've been on that.
He's on my
train.
bench. He's on my
Put him on
bench
the
this
bench.
week.
He should be in the graveyard.
This is playoff run. I had a first round bye, but this is playoff run, and my number one pick is benched, not injured, not injured, totally healthy, totally fine.
Just sucks.
Benched,
Just sucks.
benched. Fuck you, Austin Eckler.
So much capital.
Your new name to me is should have been Tyreek Hill.
Is it Austin Eckler? Well, here's the thing. Like we and I fully admit it. I was big on Bijan. Bijan has been underwhelming, but Bijan's underwhelming because of coaching. What's Austin Eckler's problem?
Well, I mean, their coach sucks.
Well, it was coaching.
Yeah.
That's why their coach is gone now.
Fair enough.
So I don't know. A lot of maybe it is time to. I don't know. Maybe he comes off the bench this week.
Also, I think Austin Eckler just doesn't give a fuck. So I mean.
That's exactly my point. That's what I was going to say. At this point, I think he just doesn't give a shit. He knows he's not going to be a Charger. The Chargers aren't going anywhere. He just doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I agree. They
didn't want to pay him. He was like, "Fine, I'll play, but I'm not going to be good."
I'll go out there, but I'm not going to do much.
Yeah. And there's another team too that rotated their running backs for no reason. Like you have Austin Eckler, why are you putting in Isaiah Spiller? Why are you putting in Joshua Kelly? Like they're garbage.
I was thinking of these conservative defensive-minded coach. Well, I don't think Arthur Smith's defensive-minded, but he might as well be. Arthur Smith might as well.
I don't know.
Well, yeah. John, if you didn't realize, we have all our own individual segments. So if you want a segment, you can think about it. You could be John's Fire Player of the Week.
Oh boy, you're gonna have to give that one.
You don't need one if you don't have one because you're just a guest.
On the spot.
John, Fireman John. It's only fitting that he has John's hot seat, right?
Ooh,
I love that.
Like it. Sean
Big
McDermott's still there.
Okay, so that's your hot seat.
There it is. Still on the hot
There we
seat.
go.
No, people.
I agree with that.
No, he's not on the hot seat
agree with
anymore.
that.
The fans that were calling for him to be fired, he won one game by a good margin. So all the fans are now like, he doesn't need to be fired. He's a great coach.
And let's keep in mind, if it's not for Tony being offsides, we probably lose that Chiefs game heartbreakingly again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We talked about that last week on the podcast. Chaz, you brought up the that video showing all the times he was offsides during the game. It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
But you're probably right. We probably do lose that in heartbreaking fashion.
Yep.
They melt down. Yeah, absolutely. John's right. 100%.
Hey, maybe Allen comes back. I hope so. He comes back, drives us down the field. But
yeah. Like John on the hot seat. I like it. I like that. All right, Dave, since you came up with that, you've earned to have the next segment. Dave, Stone Cold Lock of the Week. Your boy Adam let you down.
He's better than me.
Your boy Adam.
The Falcons.
Yeah, Adam fucked you last week, so.
Adam picked the Falcons at -3.
It goes against me, not Dave. Dave is still 5-1 or 6-1 or whatever he is.
It's a team effort, bro. It's a team effort. We're gonna take that dub. We're gonna take that out right there. But you know what? It's okay because don't worry because the Atlanta Falcons are gonna make us that money back, boys. And it's not because we're taking them. It's because we're gonna just bank on them being absolute dog shit. And this week we are taking the Indianapolis Colts +1 against the Atlanta Falcons. +1 against the Atlanta Falcons.
Just a pick.
It's basically just a pick 'em. I mean, at this point, you can take the money line, and that's totally fine. Whatever, take the 1 point because the difference is a -08 to a -112, so it's not even worth it. Just take the free point. But I'm confused on this line. I get it; it's an Atlanta home game, so the Indy should be coming in as a dog. But Indy still has something to play for, and the Atlanta Falcons are an absolute disgrace of a football team at the moment.
Dumpster fire.
I'm pretty sure there's some college teams that could go in there and beat the Atlanta Falcons right now. So
you're stretching it a little bit. First of all, Atlanta has something to play for still. They do. I mean, they're there. It's not like they're done.
Yeah, their coaches had their coaches position.
They won 1.5 games out of first place in that awful division. Like they're not done. So they have something to play for. But I mean I do like Indy in the game. I agree with you with that. But I'm just trying to well, they had a bad week. I mean, they're still playing for something, and every time we count that team out, they win a big game.
Chazz won't stand for any more slander against his baby boy.
The Colts defense is going to eat the Atlanta Falcons for lunch.
Only if John starts them. Only if John starts them, then they'll get fucking 15 sacks. I mean, that's the only way.
Okay, don't start Indy's defense, please.
He did last week against me. He got 14 points. The 2 weeks after they released Darius Leonard. Oh no! I fucking
look at if you look, Indy's been doing that for like 4 or 5 weeks in a row.
After they released Leonard too, I don't get it.
Yeah, it really doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Well, Dave,
the NFL doesn't make any sense this year at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Dave, your Stone Cold Lock of the Week is in. All right, Adam, who is your daily value?
Guys, this is a doozy. 2 segments this week. I have picked a Buffalo Bill, and my daily bargain this week is Khalil Shakir on FanDuel. He is $5,000. He's the cheapest you can go on FanDuel, I think. You might be able to go less than that, but nobody cares about those guys anyway. But $5,000, put him in your lineup, and the reason being, last week they played in the rain. They ran the ball a ton. They beat a very good team in Dallas. Now they are going to L.A. to play in a dome where Josh Allen thrives. And he is going to bounce back this week. Sorry, Chazz, it's 1 week too late for you in the Fantasy Football Bros. But Josh Allen's going to have a game. Everybody's going to get involved, and I think Khalil Shakir is going to eat this week. So put him in, at least at a flex play.
I mean, and you're talking about daily.
Daily fan, yep, in your daily lineups. If you guys want to log into your FanDuel accounts or even DraftKings anywhere, they're probably similar prices. But like I said, we use FanDuel on the Fantasy Football Bros. Khalil Shakir, $5,000. It's going to save you some money. You can put some bigger names in there.
Fair enough. I like it. I like it a lot because I'm going up against a little Stephon Diggs this week, and I would love to have Shakir just eat.
You're gorgeous. He's gonna have 7 points. You're fine. You're good. Don't even worry.
Perfect.
You're fine. Trust me. Trust me is okay. Okay, we'll go into my segment of Chazz's start of the week. Last week, my start of the week was Trey McBride. And as John knows, because he was watching against him, dude got you 20 points. Not bad for a second tight end on my team. But, so that was a good call. So my start of the week this week is I'm going with somebody that I picked a couple weeks ago. And I'm going back to the well with
Bumbles bounce.
We're going with David Montgomery. The fucking Lions were way too explosive last week. Way too many big rushes. Way too many big passes down the field. Sam Laporta catching bombs. Amon-Ra St. Brown catching bombs. Fucking Jahmyr Gibbs breaking big plays. No. Reel it in, gentlemen. Reel it in, gentlemen. It's time to get fucking David Montgomery 33 carries. And I mean, it's just what the fucking Lions do. It is just what the Lions do. It's just what they do. I'm sorry. That doesn't mean that Gibbs isn't going to have points. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean Gibbs is going to have one of his 4 points weeks. It just means that David Montgomery is probably going to have 2 fucking touchdowns because they're slowing it down. And that is my start of the week. So I think David Montgomery actually still had a pretty decent game in the explosion. So Dan Campbell it's too much for him. He's going to have a heart attack. He needs to he needs to bring it back. Start of the week is that.
I can dig it.
Love it.
Well, we've came to the end of the show. We haven't even said it to anybody, but Merry Christmas to everybody, right? This is the Christmas show.
Yeah, sure is.
It is the Christmas. And Dave, the only one coming prepared in his Green Ranger ugly sweater, which is not ugly at all, by the way. It is. That does not deserve the title of an ugly sweater.
What are you talking about? I'm wearing red for Christmas. I got Christmas.
I got green on.
Yeah, you guys are not. You two.
I just want to throw it out there. Did I go all the way to complete the ensemble? Yeah.
That's incredible. That is amazing. I love that.
I think if you can, you can see it right here. There he is. Do you see him?
Yeah, I can see the top corner.
Yeah, he's up there. He's up there.
All right, so couple more questions before we hit the road. And John, stay with us if you can, because these are important questions. So first question, everybody. We're gonna go around the horn on my screen here. So Adam, your greatest Christmas present of all time.
Ooh, that's a great question. Of all time,
you can give me two.
I think
you can give me two.
Okay, I'll give you one from when I was a kid, and I'll give you one from when I became an adult and Christmas doesn't matter for me anymore.
You're an adult?
Barely. My greatest Christmas present of all time, when the Nintendo 64 came out and I unwrapped that motherfucker for the first time and saw a Nintendo 64 system, I lost my mind. I loved that system. I think it still reigns one of the best systems of all time. I'll never forget that day.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, it was peak gaming at the time. I wish I still had my Nintendo 64 because that had some really, really good games on it.
I got two.
You couldn't go wrong. GoldenEye was one of the best first arena brawlers, right? Like, could it be considered a battle royale for back in the day?
I'm convinced that GoldenEye is the creator of all first-person shooters as we know them.
I
everyone's Quake.
Completely agree with GoldenEye. Yeah, you can't go wrong with Nintendo, dude. Mario, there it is. Look at that, and the box.
And the box,
dude. To find that at like a vintage video game store, like a GameStop or something, like that game is like $80.
Mm-hmm.
Still.
And to be fair for the people at home, Dave doesn't have the actual box. He's got one of the cool like VHS style box, not DVD style boxes.
It is a retro repro box. Yes,
love them.
Yes,
I love them. I have a whole bunch of them too.
That's awesome.
And what's your second present, Adam?
Probably. Oh man, that's such a great question too. Like, because you don't really get many things.
You could just give me one. Right? One, fine.
But I have being now that I live in Nashville, and my brother is friends with Ryan Johansson of the Nashville Predators. He actually gave me an autographed jersey that Ryan signed, and I have it hanging up in the bedroom at home. So that was pretty dope.
Do you need help picking up those names you dropped? Do you need a hand over there?
No,
you're good.
No, there's still that didn't drop. They're just still up here. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
My good friend Travis Kelsey.
Yeah. Adam loves name dropping every week.
I'm afraid to go to Jay because he's gonna be like, "Well, one year I got like a loaf of bread or something." He's gonna act like. All right, Jay. What's your favorite Christmas present?
Mine would probably be computer parts for my first ever self-built PC when I was a kid. So
when you were a kid, you're building PCs back in the 90s?
Yeah, bro.
Jesus.
Probably like middle school I started building them.
So that might have been 2000s then. Early 2000s. So good for you. Holy shit. I don't even know how to turn mine on half the time.
Yeah, we know.
I know, right?
Get off.
It takes them a minute to send out emails.
Yeah, I know. It takes him even longer to actually start the podcast. He's got to get up 17 times.
I had a late table today. All right, Dave. What's your favorite Christmas present?
I got two actually, and both of them are just a shout out to my ma. Ma, on the off chance you see this, I fucking love you. She's
Hi, Mom.
She's the best gift giver ever. So the very first one, as you guys could tell, I was super into Power Rangers when I was a kid. That I recorded the shows on the VHS tapes. So I had them all that stuff. And I don't know if you remember, but when the show was really, really popular, they came out with the action figures. And I'm talking about the original 5 Rangers. And they were sold out everywhere.
The head flippers?
Yeah. No. The OG original figures. Yeah, the original 5. These things were sold out everywhere, and I don't know how she did it, but she got all 5 of the Power Rangers. I got the complete set, which was absolutely incredible.
Cool. Yeah. Coming in clutch.
Yeah, and the second one, she's probably hated me for this, but I don't know if you guys remember the hype when the PS3 came out. But I wanted a PS3 so bad, and I was like, I was relentless with it. Like, I was trying to hunt them down. I would tell her, yo, I think there's PS3s at this store. Like, we should go. Like, absolutely insane. And that entire time that I was just kind of like shitting a brick trying to get a PS3, she had one for like 2 months just waiting. So, yeah, got the PS3 on release date. That was super sick.
And that's awesome for Mama Zags, because Dave was literally probably in his mid-20s at that point. And I'm not even throwing shade there. True. When did that come out? Like 2008? 2007?
Yeah. PS3 2008, so I was probably like
22, 23?
Nah, probably like 18, 19.
Stop lying to everybody.
September 3rd, 2009.
2009, so almost 2010,
Yep.
Dave. You were pushing 24 years old. Just saying.
Almost 22.
Well, it's plus or minus a couple of years, you know.
Oh, no, wait,
A couple of years.
Hold on. PS3. Oh, 2006.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. All right, boys. Hey, let's
November
take it
2006
easy. All right.
in North America.
All right.
Hey, I was giving Mom props there. Mom's buying her fucking 30-year-old man fucking 30-year-old son PS3. So I was giving Mom props there.
Oh, yeah.
20-year-old son, that's it.
Maz and OG. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter your age. She just wants to make sure you have a great
She's
holiday.
going to be getting him the PS7.
I'll fucking take it, boys. I'll fucking take it.
What do you got, John? Favorite Christmas gift?
Mine is probably, I had to be 7 or 8, 7, 8, I don't know how old I was, but my father got me tickets to the divisional Bills playoff game against the Dolphins, and then the home playoff game against the Raiders in, I believe, 1990, before the first Super Bowl.
I was going to say, so the one that
both those
stomped the Raiders?
Games, oh, yeah. I think we stomped them.
Oh, yeah.
I think 44-34 or something. Yeah. We beat them pretty good, too, but I got to go to both those games, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's sick.
Awesome. That is super cool. Well, I got 2 for you. The first one, again, Mom and my dad, like, Christmas, I asked for like a drum set. I wanted to start learning drums. I'm like, 8 years old, and I open all my gifts and there's no drum set. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then all of a sudden they take me into the basement and there's a big drum set, in the basement for me, ready to go. So I always have that memory. And the second one, as I'm with Adam, man, when I opened that fucking Nintendo 64 in 1996, I mean, I was almost doing backflips. I was like. Tearing the box open and the way they set it up too was funny. There's this huge enormous like refrigerator box, and then a regular sized box, and then so obviously as a kid I run and open the refrigerator sized box first, and inside are all these fucking packing peanuts, and I'm digging through the fucking thing, and at the bottom of it they have taped to the bottom of the box Madden 64,
Nice.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't have a Nintendo 64. And then there's a fucking square box sitting next to it. And it was my Nintendo 64. So that is my favorite Christmas gift ever.
I got one very, very quick story about that N64. I'll make it really quick, but you guys are going to love it. So when I got my N64, obviously we shared it with the household, but baby brother, I was not the best big brother, and I did not let him play it a lot. It was more of just him watching, right? So a couple years goes down the line, and Christmas comes, and baby bro opens up his own N64, and he is just like so happy, right? He's ecstatic. He finally doesn't have to watch me play. He can play anytime he wants. Well, I open up my gift after, and my gift just happened to be the brand newly released PlayStation 1. And my baby bro at the time, I will never forget this. I forget how young he was, but he was super young, looks over at me and goes, "What the fuck is that?"
That's amazing.
Best Christmas moment ever. Just like the ultimate happiness to the ultimate disappointment, finding out that it was a new game system that was newer than the N64.
In the rip of a package opening.
Yeah. And then Dave probably did like an evil laugh. As he's holding his new PlayStation.
Yeah, no doubt.
And then he proceeded to not let Pete touch the PlayStation.
Yeah, no shit.
I fucking played Spyro all day, bro. I was just out there collecting rupees, and yeah, he was not happy.
Collecting groupies?
Yeah.
Hey, has the Nerdy podcast gone through the best games of every console so far?
No, but that's a great topic. We might have to steal that idea. Chaz, you don't like groupies for Spyro?
I have to be on it now.
Isn't that what they called them?
No, I was making a joke. Groupies with a G. You know, like bitches at concerts, bro.
Oh, I'm a nerd, dude.
He's a nerd.
Talk about girls.
Girls have cooties.
I don't get girls, bro. I'm wearing a fucking Power Rangers sweater.
And he's got a Power Rangers, whatever.
I mean, how do you think I get them? I drop names all day long. I'm like, I'm President Ryan Johansson, dude.
Yeah, he definitely does, yeah.
Yeah,
It sounds like
N64 collection.
I know Travis Kelce.
I drank with Cole Swindell the other day.
But you know how many?
Oh my god, that's cool. Can you introduce me? Yeah, you got to come home first.
I'm like, come
at the house. Do you want to come?
I got Princess Kenny right here. I got Princess Kenny. Oh, fucking. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, we want to wish everyone at home a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and Happy Hanukkah, Joyous Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate. Just be safe and have a good time. Make sure you're eating a lot of good food, drinking a lot of good drink, and being safe and enjoy and love your family. So, John, don't leave yet, but thank you for joining us. Dave, thank you for joining us.
Always a pleasure, boys. Happy holidays.
Adam and Jay, as always, thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Yes, sir.
I stopped the songs of the week, but check out, folks, if you want to go some good rock and Christmas music, check out the album, A Twisted Christmas by Twisted Sister. And until then, we will see you next time, guys. Peace.
See you there, guys.
Later, guys.
Later, boys.
See you, boys.
Christmas.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the Gear Network.